Hello, I am Virtual QSO, and today I will be running Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People. This is an episodic adventure game that was released in 2008. I will be running all 5 episodes. For a little bit of background information, the Homestar Runner web series was in its heyday in the mid to late 2000s. This licensed game was a partnership between the creators of Homestar Runner and Telltale Games. And a big feature and what will kick off the plot of the first episode is the Strong Bad emails, which were basically viewers could submit their own questions to be answered in character by Strong Bad.
New game.
And the first episode features opens with such an email, although it was not a real email by fans, but rather one created by the show writers for the sake of the game. And in the first episode, Strong Bad sets off to disgrace Homestar, and I'll start the game.
You game.
The time will start when I click Yep in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is Strong Bad was inspired to beat the snot out of Homestar. And so we'll head to the track where Homestar can be found. But by talking to Homestar, Strong Bad will get the idea to instead challenge him to a race. Alright. By participating in that conversation, we open Marzipan's house as a destination, where Strong Bad is going to be upset that he was not going to be invited to the victory party. We need to click on this hedge right here. That will allow us to talk to Marzipan about the hedge. And talking to her about the hedge allows us to get her hedge trimmers down the line. That float is normally important, but we are going to be skipping it for this run. Going to set up Bub's concession stand for later. I grabbed an onion from the garden, which we were about to use. We're going to use the onion on Homestar to make him think it is deodorant. I don't know. Only Homestar could fall for this. And now that he stinks, we can trick him into thinking he needs to take a shower again, so we can steal his clothes. Normally, we'd need to steal the head from that float in order to be able to put on the disguise. And normally, Strong Bad would not put on Homestar's clothes without the head. But we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And almost all dialogue is skipped by right-clicking. Okay, so by selecting the clothes, by selecting the map and then clicking on Strong Bad, we can put the outfit on without the head. And the game will progress as if we got the complete outfit. We'll also grab Homestar's phone because we'll need that for later. This is a scripted minigame sequence that we have to lose, so we can just quit to skip it. And instead of beating the snot out of Homestar, we made a public disgrace of him. Unfortunately, now he's crashing in our house, so we've got to get him out of here. By talking to Homestar and selecting the TV, we unlock the King of Town's castle as a travel destination. We will not be going there yet. First, we need to go back to the track and pick up something that was not there a moment ago. We need to pick up these coupons. Then we'll head back to our house because it's faster to do the to fast travel this way rather than just to walk up the stairs. And we will pick up this gelatin translucent red dessert-related substance mix, which we will be using later. Of course, this is an adventure game, so we're picking up almost everything that isn't nailed down. And with this, we are responding to what looks like a spam email to put in an order in for performance enhancing supplements, which we will be picking up from Bubs. We are going to be exchanging the coupon for this candy. We're going to be picking up Marzipan's head trimmers, claiming it's on her behalf. Bubs is not very smart, and he believes that. And we also picked up the performance enhancing powder. We are not going to be using that on ourselves. We are going to be using it to frame the rival Pom Pom for using it. Because even if we do the race perfectly, we have no shot at actually beating Pom Pom in it. But we still have to do the race well enough to be believable. Okay, so now for this part, we need to sneak past, and the game's being a little bit difficult. We need to grab this plunger.
Poop is on the move!
And then we need to double back to the entryway, but it's faster just to be caught and thrown out. We need to get to where Strongman was standing, but as long as he's there, he's not going to let us through it. And we also need the shovel for the next area. So we need to stay here and wait until until the Poopsmith sees us, so that we can get Strongman to be lured out of his spot.
Look.
And now that Strongman is lured out of the spot, we can steal Homestar's criminal records. We still need to get him back together with Marzipan, and we need to we need to make up for him losing the race by winning a race for him.
Where's my royal custard? I can't take a bath without my royal...
Aha!
Before we go on, we've got 2 more things to do. We need to use the heads clippers on the head that was in front of the yard. And we need to call Marzipan because the event flags are a bit messed up from when we skipped getting the float's head. And that will allow us to go to Marzipan's house and treat it as if we actually did the game supposedly, and Marzipan will be if we did not do that, returning to Marzipan's house would be like we were still in the first part of the game. We need these balloons to be able to complete the race. We need to create a trap because if we're going to leave the candy on Marzipan's doorstep, but we need to create a pitfall trap first because if we just leave the candy there, the King of Town will steal them. And now we can place the candies in front of her doorstep. And now Marzipan will get back together with Homestar. So now we just need to win the race on Homestar's behalf. Alright, let's go back to the track. Let's see. We are going to plant the total load, the performance enhancing powder on Pom Pom to have him disqualified.
What by... What a taste. What about...
I'm sorry, I usually do this in a different order and I don't remember what the cheat was doing there. Now we need to set up the track so that we can actually win the race. We need to mix the water with the gelatin so that we can actually cross the log. We need to put the balloons on the Heavy
Why so-
Lord. So that we can pogo step with them. And then this is a little bit of funky because I can't. Normally my instinct is to mass right click, but if I press it more than once, I'll exit out and that will set me back some time. And now the track has been sabotaged so that Strong Bad can actually complete it. So we're going to delete the footage on the camera because it has a big red delete button. And now we can complete the race with a passable time.
Ta-da! Cool! Alright!
Now we just need to jump over the hurdles.
Boing!
The hurdles need to be set in this order because Strong Bad gets more tired after each one, so we have to do the tallest to shortest. And now that Pom Pom isn't disqualified and we've got a good time on the race, we've now got the trophy to give to Homestar, his criminal record, and his phone to get him back with Marzipan. So that should be everything in this episode, right? Well, let's give these items back to Homestar. This Homestar corresponds to Marzipan, so we'll give him back his phone now that Marzipan left a message to get back together with him. This Homestar corresponds to the race, so we'll give him back the trophy. We can give them the wrong items, but that will warp Strong Bad to the Homestar that it's supposed to correspond to, and then we have to double back to the one that we were, which it takes longer. That wasn't required. I just had to do it. That wasn't like required for the run. I just wanted to do that. And now we've got Homestar's criminal record erased. But now, because Marzipan couldn't throw the victory party at her place because we sabotaged the yard, except we didn't because we skipped that part, Marzipan moved the party to our place. So we need to get everyone out of here. Oh, first I need to do this. I forgot to do that. We need to set this up so that we can get them out of here. I forgot to do that in the previous scene. Now with the conga line, we can grab the banana peel. Optimally, we get this in one cycle, but it's finicky, and it wastes time if we miss the timing on the first. To do that in one cycle has a tight time window, and it would waste time if we missed it. So I'm not going to attempt that because it's not really marathon safe. And by dropping the banana peel in front of the window, that is the end of episode 1. For episode 2, King of Town has placed a tax on emails and is putting Strong Bad under house arrest for not paying that tax. So the first thing we need to do is assemble the parts of an effigy for the King of Town.
I've got a full
They got a red towel that represents his robe.
Few can withstand the otherworldly horror.
We need to get this crown to represent the King of Town's crown. We also need the metal detector, which in 3 of the episodes it's only for optional stuff, but for this episode and the last episode it's required. That pillow will give the effigy some plumpness to correspond to the King of Town, and that couch stuffing will be the beard of the effigy. Now we can give all the other townspeople who are protesting our arrest, which is awfully kind of them, considering that Strong Bad tends to make a mess of everything for them. Give everything the materials for the effigy.
Stupid.
Can't use the metal detector inside. And when we give them the last part, they will set it on fire. It will burn the effigy. Which also... So the invisible fence was not very fireproof. So this destroys the invisible fence and lets us get out. And now Strong Bad's on to his next plan. He's going to overthrow the king of town as revenge for the house arrest. Strong Bad has considered this patch of land his own country for almost the entire series, Strong Badia, but for some reason, everybody else decided to get in on their having their own country too for this episode. So we grabbed that board game which functions as our map for this episode. Now we need to double back to our house, which is now taken over by Strong Sad and has been renamed to Bleak House. We're gonna use I used a metal detector here to find one of 4 mysterious artifacts, which we need to get one of the characters recruited. And under that package, we found a badge that we will give to the cheat to get him to ally with us. Alright, and now we can go back into Bleak House. Because when the cheat joined with us, he returned our lighter. And now in order to form an alliance with Strong Sad, we need to burn everything.
What? What?
Shut up!
Okay, so one thing I have to be careful of is I can't start right-clicking too early, because if I start right-clicking before the interaction has begun,
Welcome.
Not interested.
it'll put the item away, and then it'll act as if I just clicked it with nothing in my hand, which, of course, loses time.
Oh,
Alright, and now that we've got Strong Sad, we don't need Strong Sad's help quite yet.
Hey!
But we will continue on to Bub's concession stand. Bubs does not join us at all during this game. Alright. We used the money that we got from Strong Badia, and we bought that weird robotic action figure thing. We're gonna find a second mysterious artifact near the stick. And then we will head on to Pomerania.
What are you?
We need to in order to get Pom Pom to join us, we need to bust some cool moves on the dance floor, which is really just holding the right drink in our hand. The right drink being a glow stick infused glowing drink. Any of the default drinks will not work. So we have to...
No.
And now Pom Pom has joined us. Before we go, though, we need to switch out the fake sword that we grabbed earlier for the real sword.
Destroy.
Alright, and next we can go to the Homsar reservation. Okay. Oh, I just realized I forgot to do something. So here we need to trick Stronghead into thinking he has a disease. We do that first by heating up his thermometer, then we plant the buzzing robotic doll on him to think he's got shivers. And lastly, by talking to Homsar and speaking in his same flavor of gibberish by choosing the Strong Bad while wearing Homsar's hat, we convince Strong Sad that he's delirious. And now we can take his Pretendix and we'll exchange that for one of the other artifacts. But first, I forgot to do this earlier. Should have did this when I was first here. There we go. Alright. Forgot to do that earlier, but now we'll double back to the concession stand. And we're going to go behind the concession stand. And by giving the Pretendix to Bub, we can get the fourth and final artifact. We'll like to have that conversation. Okay, we're gonna now we can use all 4 of those artifacts. The 3 that we dug up plus the one we exchanged from Bub. We'll dump them. We'll dump them into this mysterious pylon. And by dumping all 4 of the artifacts into here, Strong Bad temporarily gains the ability to understand Hamsar.
Hello.
All we need to do now is talk to him once and exit out of the conversation, and we'll recruit him. Unfortunately, that destroys the pylon and our ability to understand Hamsar. So we've got 3 people recruited, and we need 2 more.
Next.
The next person to recruit is our brother Strongmad. Strongmad's a bit hard to communicate with, but the cheat can be a translator for us. And by communicating via the cheat, Strongmad challenges us to a test of valor. So we need to defeat his monster by destroying the heads of the spider monster that he created.
Die!
We need to distract him by cutting off the one head, so that we can cut off the other head and have it drift away into the water. Then while he's doing that, we can stop him from grabbing the first head, so that we can destroy it by putting it into the fire. And that's our 4th recruit. Now, the next thing we will be doing is having Homestar run a draft, which the draft wheel is directly opposite the Marzipan's United Nations display. We need to weigh the wheel by putting the heavy object Tony Stoney in that specific space. And this will recruit Coach Z. The audio always glitches here, unfortunately. It's a little bit obnoxious, but it passes pretty quickly.
You ready?
And then we can talk to Homestar to begin our assault. The alternative is talking to all 5 of the other people there. Of course, that takes longer, and we don't do that for speedrun. Unfortunately, now that we have successfully overthrown the King of Town, which was surprisingly easy, it turned out the King of Town was actually trying to get overthrown.
The snacky 186?
We can't skip this dialogue, unfortunately.
On late-night infomercials. I never knew it was a computer.
Well, give me some time.
Sent email. Hey, Strongbad was to tell us how the King of Town ever passed. Roy T. Castle Hill.
So yeah, being the King of Town turns out to be a pretty crappy gig. And so the King of Town was baiting Strongbad into taking the job over for him the whole time.
What?
So we're going to get the King of Town to take his job back. Although Strongbad's calling him the of Town now, so that's what we will use to send the tax decree. To mirror the tax decree that he placed on us to start this whole thing. And we will send it. And now we just gotta guide the King of Town to take back his castle. We gotta do this board game section here real quick. Well, not real quick, this is actually... This is actually a little bit of a long part, and I'm also going to... really much to say during this. I just gotta make sure I don't mess up because it because if something goes wrong, it could actually cost a huge amount of time. But I'm pretty sure I have this part down. Anyway, time for this episode is going to be when I get the King of Town to the castle on the opposite side of the board. And the way this board game works is that the three opponent characters will either send the person that they run into back or draw with them. Each Strong Mad draws with the cheat, and Strong Sad draws with Homsar. And if they draw, then they can't move anymore, which is good for us and bad for them. And Homsar is just going to relentlessly try to chase down the King of Town, but he can't see us if the King of Town is in that cloud of poop haze. So he's going to default by chasing after Coach Z, who he's just going to leave there. My cursor is being a little bit difficult. In order to save the time for now that there's 2 spaces between Homestar and the King of Town, we don't need the poop cloud anymore. So we're going to just stop moving the poop smiths. And also, because Homestar won't go all the way to Coach Z, we won't have to skip that. We won't have this extra flame from that cutscene. And time for this episode will be when victory pops up, and when we get the King of Town to the castle. Alright, and now we're on to episode 3, and the King of Town has taken back his job as the King of Town. This is a scripted sequence, an automated sequence, so just going to pretend to interplay the game a little bit by pressing the arrow key on my keyboard. So for this episode, we do not need the metal detector, and also Strong Bad is going to take his video game console, the Fun Machine, to Bubs for repair, but we need to grab a few things first.
Sweet.
We grab the aerosol cheese spray from the fridge. We'll grab our lighter from there. We need some things from this room, but we're not going to be able to grab them while Strong Sad is in there. Talking to Strong Mad and choosing himself will open Marzipan as a travel destination. And collecting this album is necessary for the contest that Strong Mad is about to enter. We're going to make a quick detour to Marzipan so that Strong Mad moves to Marzipan's and leaves his room because we'll need him to be out of the way later. And we can go to Bub's stand now and talk to him about the Fun Machine. So Strong Bad needs to raise the money to fix the Fun Machine, and he's going to do so by putting on a Battle of the Bands. We need to grab this contest flyer because we need celebrity judges, and the contest flyer is how we'll get the celebrity judges. And we'll need that stencil. We're gonna use the stencil on this wall, and then we're gonna graffiti it with the cheese spray. And now we can trick Strong Sad into being security for our Battle of the Bands contest by giving him this jacket and pretending it's a band T-shirt. Or a band jacket, I guess.
Hey!
And now we're going to... Now that Strong Sad and Strong Mad have both left the house, we can go back to our room and grab the stuff from... We can go back to their place and grab the stuff from their room. So we just need to grab the camera, the bat hutch, the fake sword, and we need to grab the stuffed dinosaur from Strong Mad's room, which we can't get to here. And now, so we need, in order to recreate the album cover for our band photo, we need to first swing by Marzipan's house and meet and talk to the cheat again. We use a sword on him so that he can pose as the hot blonde, as Strong Bad says. And now we can go to the concession stand. Or I guess, let's see. I guess it would have been a little bit faster for me to fast travel to the Strong Bad, yeah. By using Pudonkus on the hot car, we can stage the photo. That's the first thing we need to do to stage the photo. We also need to grab one more thing that's over here. We need to grab that starfish, but first we need to set up the stick as a fast travel destination for later. And now we can fast travel back to the cool car. Now we can light the oil on fire, and we can decorate the antenna with the star. And now that we've got the photo completely staged, we can take the picture of it.
Okay.
Alright, now that we've got a good photo, we can mail it off.
Oh. Dear Mrs. Air.
Alright. Now that we've got the band, now we've got the proof of the contest winner, we can turn that into Bubs, and we can host our battle of the bands.
Bubs, I found some celebrity Who that? Well, now that you've gotten some celebrity judges and duped that
okay.
Here are the answers.
I should be able to skip this dialogue. I'm not entirely sure why my cursor was being a little bit unresponsive there. Now we need to recruit 3 bands. Hold on. There. Okay. Having a little bit of
have to talk to Coach Z if I want to get him and Bubs back together.
Okay. I hope my battery's not dying on this cursor. That would be really bad timing for that. Okay. Anyway, first things first. We're gonna make a detour to Marzipan's.
If I throw. Whoa.
What? Okay, I do have some extra batteries, but I really don't have time to change them now. Hopefully it lasts at least to the end of the run. Okay, so we need to grab these glosses and have Marzipan sign one for Code Z. I hope it's just like there's some sort of Bluetooth interference. We're gonna have Marzipan make out the autograph to Code Z. Then we can go to the track, or in this case, just the logger. We don't go to the actual track in this episode. And we're just gonna grab everything that's not nailed down in here. Oh. Fighting with the cursor, I almost forgot that we need to grab this first.
Aha!
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Security robot activate.
What?
Okay, there we go.
I wonder
Okay.
if Bubs will be able to hear his alarm way out here.
I'm having...
You don't... What?
I'm having a little bit of mouse issues for some reason this time. Okay, we grab the wire hanger and the toilet paper. And we're grabbing this bleach, which we will need to use next after we're done in here. To get Bubs and Coach Z's band to join, we have to frame up Coach Z for 3 different minor acts of nuisance. First one will be the stealing from Bubs' own dang store.
Sit your butt down until the authorities arrive. I've homing beacon activated. Sit your...
Alright. And now we can go back to our house. We've got to make a detour here. Well, I guess it's not a detour. It's what we're supposed to do for the run. But it's like we got to stop here before we go back to Marzipan. We're gonna use the bleach and the bats on the washer to bleach the bats.
What?
Okay. Oh, and I already used both of them. Then I just gotta click the washer again. So what Marzipan was doing is he wasn't going to join the Battle of the Bands because he has a benefit for albino bats. And we just got Cozy to commit a second act of nuisance, throwing rocks through Marzipan's window. We still need him to be framed for one more nuisance. The game was actually released on the Wii and the PC initially. Okay, so... by using the bleach bats on the albino bat's cage, we can convince Marzipan to cancel her benefit and participate in our Battle of the Bands. So we can convince her. And
gosh, I guess the albino.
And now, if the cursor will cooperate with me, we can have Marzipan fill out the entry form.
So now they can...
What?
You're right. It's a great idea.
Okay. I don't think it's the battery. I think there's some sort of signal interference. Anyway, we can also get Homestar's we can also get Homestar. We don't need the real. We don't need to swap out the fake sword for the real sword this episode.
Ooh.
We don't even have the fake sword anymore. So in order to get Homestar and Pom Pom's band to join up, we need to help Homestar with his audition to the Pom Pom because he is not good with lyrics, and so we need to give him prompts to get him to think of lyrics for his audition. We've got a specific food item that he's got to rhyme in. The game actually tries to bait and switch a blind player into choosing the snails instead of the bottle of wine for the first time. Obviously, for a speedrun, we're not going to deliberately do that wrong. And now that Pom Pom has decided to sign a Homestar, we can give him the audition form. And now we just gotta frame Code C for one more active nuisance ship, which will be TPing the stick.
I never... Cool.
And now we can give all our entry forms to Bubs. And we can start
Hey, Bob! Yeah.
And the Battle of the Bands can commence.
Hey, Bob! Oh! Bob!
Unfortunately, we only have half the amount of money that we need to fix the fun machine, which means we have to win the prize money to get the rest of the funds that we need to actually fix it. Right here we're choosing the name for the band, but it always acronyms to DOI anyway, so it doesn't matter. Can't skip this dialogue right here, so I'm going to stretch out my hand.
Wow. We suck. If I want to win this thing, looks like I'm gonna have to go out and sabotage all the other bands. You guys keep, rocking. I'm gonna go find some groupies or something. Make sure they bring dip!
Alright. We need this coloring book to sabotage
What's
Marzipan,
this?
and we can't skip this dialogue
Sweet!
either.
An unspoiled limousine coloring book. VG condition, light cover wear, some creasing. Oh, I'm gonna spoil this thing rotten.
Alright. Now we need to make a quick detour back to our house to prep some stuff. I don't know why it's day at our house, but night at the venue. We need these records to sabotage Coatsy and Bubs. Then we need to color in the coloring book here. Okay, now that we've got those, we can head back to the first destination we go to is Marzipan's performance. We can't sabotage her from here, but we do need to pick up something from here, the Billy Club.
Oh.
Alright, next we're going to go to the 2-0 duos. We're going to, in order to continue with our sabotage, in order to commence our sabotage of Marzipan, we need to frame Limousine for spoiling the pawn, or polluting the pawn. We still have the camera from earlier.
Okay.
And now, so what
This must
Coatsy
be-
and Bubs do is, Coatsy does a dance based on the order of these records here. We need to have the dance set up in such a way that Coatsy will physically assault Bubs in response. And that's the first act of sabotage. Now we'll head up to Pom Pom and
Okay.
Homestar. So Homestar can miraculously keep up with his lyrics. It's because of that headset. But first we're going to
Okay.
take a third picture of Limousine to sabotage Marzipan. We can use the drive-through rail to interfere with the prompts that Homestar is receiving through his headset.
Okay.
Woo!
Whoa! Major breakdown!
Woo!
Alright, and now we can sabotage Marzipan by showing her the photos of Limousine being framed. And C is going to lash out against Limousine
Take a look.
in song. Which, as far as the performance goes, it's a good performance, but Limousine does not approve. So that's why it's sabotage. Now we just gotta. Now that everyone else is sabotaged, it should be home free for us, right? Well, no, we're still terrible.
I'll drop. Oh,
Okay, so we're gonna work to reveal our big stage prop, and surely that will get them to cheer for us and crown us the winner. Oops. accidentally tapped out. Whoops. So, what we would normally do is click that, well, what Strong Bad wants to do is just press that red button, but the wire's already been cut. So we can't just reveal the stage prop this way. We need this butter to close out the game. So we need to manually untie the stage prop, which but in order to get up there, we need to short out the electricity, otherwise the fan will just blow us back from getting to the ladder. And Homstar will do that by wearing this hat and crashing into the power box. And now we can get up here. And time for this episode will be when I use the tub of butter on the fog machine, the tub of butter that I just picked up.
Nothing new.
No. And by using the tub of butter on the fog machine, the King of Town will start devouring the bats, which gets the audience to finally cheer for us and win us the Battle of the Bands. So now it's time for episode 4. There's a lot of cutscene here, and without dialogue, it gives my hand some time to rest. I actually set the record for episode 4 on speedrun.com. Alright. That being said, if we're going for an all episodes record, we do episode 4 first because there's RNG in this episode that we need to reset for. As it stands, though, because of the RNG, we can't. I would not attempt to world record this during a marathon setting. Either episode 4 or all episodes. So this episode is Strong Bad's amateur thriller movie production. Dangeresque 3: The Criminal Projective. They've been teasing like the existence of Dangeresque 3 since like 2005, and then it came out in 2008. We need to grab the nunchuck gun and the trinket, and we need to open the door to let in Coates's character Ronaldo and Marzipan's character Cutesy Buttons. Okay, I think it must have just been some sort of interference with the mouse and not a battery issue, because it seems to have gone. It seems to be gone by now. Okay, we need this Diet Cola for a little bit later, and we need this plant for later. What we need to do is go to the jungle of Strong Borneo to retrieve a formula that will save the rainforest. It doesn't make sense, but the whole point is that this is badly acted, badly filmed, badly, like, cheaply produced, and just the epitome of a cheap homemade movie. It's badly acted, badly written, low budget props. So by shooting the bear shark, we will get the formula.
Oh, damn! That good thing there are two sides to every gun!
Except Ronaldo just crushed it into powder. So we will need to go to the lab of a scientist that can recreate the formula. So we'll use the formula on him. And then he will tell us what we need in order to recreate it. We need a bubbly drink, which we got earlier, and stickiny flour and yellow hair. Of course, we already know who has yellow hair. But Marzipan is not going to willingly let us cut her hair, even though that's what we got the scissors for. So what we need to do is... So this is the stickiny flour that we need for the formula. And then we'll need to drop Marzipan's plant into the shark pond, which is conveniently right outside the window of the office. And then by looking out the window, we can get Marzipan to be distracted by her plant being put in danger, and now we can cut her hair. And now we can go back to the lab with all the ingredients for the formula.
Okay.
There's the yellow hair, stickiny flour. Incidentally, the actual completed formula is not actually an item in this episode. It's not an actual inventory item that we can use. So we'll return to our office to give it to Cutesy Button. But gasp! She's gone! And there's a mysterious VCR tape here. So it turns out Cutesy Buttons has been kidnapped, and we need to go to somebody who can think like a criminal to know what the criminals did to her. Both of those options, the good or the evil, work there, but the good is slightly faster. And we will talk to this person, talking to Bub's character Diamonical about two figures that will be able to help us solve this kidnapping.
So...
The first stop we're going to do is we're going to need to get the King of Town's character Perducci to give us those plans. Okay, had a glitch there. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but that glitch has happened occasionally during my practice runs. So we need to play one round of the game normally. Then we need to shuffle the deck until the Ace of Spades is on top. If going for a world record, we actually don't shuffle the deck. We just attempt to draw blind, and if we don't get the Ace of Spades on top with our first blind, we just restart the whole run. And there's the Ace, but obviously that's not marathon safe. So we're just going to take the shuffles, and best case scenario for a marathon is the Ace of Spades being after the first shuffle. Then we need a rock, so we can play again to win, because rock beats everything in this game, because the rules are not fair. Except for the fact that... except for paper beats rock. So we baited them into playing down their blueprint, which is what we really wanted, and we took the blueprint. Next, we'll go to the other place. We need to talk to the expert kidnapping solver. And now we've got the catacombs as a destination. We need to solve the kidnapping that our long-lost father never could, in order to get him to be able to help us track down Cutesy Buttons. This puzzle, the solution requires following a bunch of windy lines in the previous room, but because there's no RNG here, I just have the solution memorized.
Right.
And then we have Strong Sad posing as a really crappy B-movie monster. And it was supposed to be edited into an actual monster with motion captured, but instead it never happened. He's just wearing the mocap suit. And now that we've saved the kidnapping victim and got the blueprints, we can go to the hideout and rescue QC Buttons. By pointing our nunchuck gun at the various enemies in the standoff in this specific, each time we point our gun, they change in their positioning based on who we point the gun at. So we want to make sure that both the one that she's in front of and the one that she's going to be in front of are give her some space so that she can move.
Good work stalling them until I could clear an escape route, Dangerous. Right.
Okay, now we need to make our getaway, and Killing You Guy is chasing us. He is almost impervious.
Active.
We need to drop an oil slick. This is like the best bad acting in the game with the way Strong Mad is pretending to be slipping, and the cheat is just running back and forth with the tree. We need to jump into the helicopter, so in order to do that we'll prop open the hutch. But obviously that won't support our weight, so we're going to pretend to be... Because the brakes were cut, we had to manually slow it down, so we're going to use Killing You Guy as a little bit of a prop for the hutch, so that we can stand on it. Well, and now Code C's character, Renato, has been kidnapped, and he has been taken to the surface of the sun, because Strong Bad has a totally is a good rider. So, unfortunately, this rocket would be able to take us to the sun, but unfortunately, both the launch codes and the ruby that powers it has been stolen. Okay. In order to get the ruby back, we need to get the Marzipan's other character, Sultry Buttons,
Don't worry.
to reminisce about our past. And I am not going to forget to pick up the branch like I did in testing, like I did in my practice round the other day. So in order to get her to reminisce about our past, we need to grow another stickiny flower, which we will use in the formulaically enhanced garden.
It says.
And we're just gonna fast forward through Marzipan's tirade. Cause outside of the film, in Strong Bad was actually fast forwarding through that part. And now we can go to Venice. What? And now, so we need to talk to you, and we need to use the rock on him to unlock the next destination.
What are you? Tokyo.
We can place the countries in any place, and there's not there's not enough space for all the because some of the countries are too close together. We need to talk to this informant about Perducci and the painting, because we're going to need to figure out one of the informants is a fake, and talking to them about the painting, talking about the right three of them, talking to all of them about talking to three of them in particular about the painting. So normally you talk to all of them about the painting, but talking to three of them in particular about the painting will reveal which one is the imposter.
You need some information?
Strong Bad cannot determine the imposter without figuring it out within the game himself. We also need to place the stickity flower there and fast travel back to here before going anywhere else to get the gems back from sultry buttons. We don't need to talk to this one about the painting, but we do need to talk to him about Perducci to unlock the next destination. Yeah, I placed Paris in Africa, and I placed Ireland in India. Because there is not enough, because I already had those places occupied where they were supposed to be. This one we need to talk to about Perducci and the painting.
Cairo.
And because I placed Paris in Africa, I'm going to place Cairo in Australia. And this one we don't need to talk to about Perducci because we already have all the destinations. We just need to talk to him about the painting. And now Strong Bad has been tipped off to which of the brothers is to the fact that one of the brothers is a fake, because there should only be 4, but there were 5. And this is the one that is a fake. In order to prove it, we need to shoot at him, and we need to select the Japanese temple, because that was the contradiction between the 3 clues that we were given. Alright, and now that we've got the ruby and the launch codes, we can give them back to Dr. Experimento so that we can fly to the sun. I love how the props are look like actual props, and then but when we bring them out of the inventory, well, the gems in particular, when we bring them out of the inventory, they look like the standard that they are. Okay, so normally we'd have to play this whole mini game, but by pressing the A button, we can reduce the required score down to 1, and now we just need to save 1 non-clown with a bubble.
Ooh,
a little bit bad RNG because it was 3 items. Because it was a little bit bad RNG because it took me 3 non-hits until I could get the hit. Okay. Nearing the end of this episode, we finally found out that there were actually 2 home stars, or 2 dangerous 2s. And one of them was a robotic imposter. It does not matter who I shoot, because whichever one I shoot, they're going to deflect the bullet at the other one, and whichever one actually ends up getting hits turned out to have been the doppelganger, regardless of which one you choose.
Yeah.
Alright, time for this episode is going to be when I take out the cheat. But first I have to take out Uzi Bazooka, the robotic doppelganger of Homestar. And to do that, I need to take my diamond and embed it on the tip of the drill.
Oh.
And I need to clear that blocker out of the way, and then I need to turn the orbital controls. And now we just need to kick the cheat.
Hey.
And that's time for this episode. And now we're on to the 5th and final episode. Probably did refresh my memory a little bit of this episode too. Alright, so what we need to do now is get the Trogdor machine fixed. So yeah, there was so this episode picks up immediately after the previous episode. And there was not a very good reception to the movie. This is the other episode that we need the metal detector for. And we also, and at some point, Strong Bad stole Homestar's phone again and left it in his room. We need to talk to Strong Sad so that we know what we need to do about the, so we get the key so that we can repair the Trogdor machine. And now we can go outside. First, we need to attempt to fix the Trogdor machine on our own. That goes about as well as you'd expect.
You'd have to be some type of idiot to take on Trogdor alone.
I just let Strong Sad explain what we're about to do here.
What?
So, Homestar lost his quarter that he was that. And now we can give Homestar his quarterback so that he can play the game, which will distract Trogdor so that we can fix it, so that we can get into the cabinet. But first we need the replacement logic board, which we can get by calling Videlectric support and dialing 4. Now we'll pick up the logic board from Bub's concession stand. And then it's going to quickly zoom over to Trogdor. And now we can use the key to unlock the machine. And we can... And now we can replace the logic board. Unfortunately, the interaction between the radioactive Homestar and the Trogdor machine while it's being repaired creates a reality-distorting ripple. Alright. Need the cool car, the fast travel destination. Well, Trogdor has escaped, and a bunch of other video games too have merged with reality.
Hey,
Okay. Just gonna keep walking here while we grab some things. We're also setting up some event flags by passing by all these locations.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, I forgot to grab the snakes. See. I'll be right. I will quickly double back for the snakes. I knew there was something else that was. Okay, there we are. Okay.
No.
It's a long run, I forget things. Okay, now we're gonna head back to Bub's stand and continue along the way we're supposed to. By passing by that, we'll recruit the Algae Bros into our party. They'll come in handy towards the end of the game. And we need to grab... And we need to witness the crash there as another event flag for later.
You know you're...
Alright. Now, by using the snake boxer in combination with the snakes, we can break open these crates. And what I often do in practice that I will not do this time is break open the crate and forget to grab the light musket. Alright, and now we're going to... Now we're going to return to the trogdor machine.
Getting it.
Not only are the video games coming outside into the world, but we are going inside to the world of video games.
Hey.
Alright.
Space.
We'll need to recruit that circus bear from for later, for close to the end of the game. And we're going to set this, and we're going to interact with Jalarci's game so that we can recruit him in a little bit. We need to turn the slider up, and we need to switch to red fruit. Alright.
I better find...
And now we can head back to our place, which has been haunted. So this one is kind of a bit bumpy because by right-clicking, if I right-click when I'm not in dialogue, I will shoot the light musket, which has a huge cooldown that you can't do anything during. So I'm going to go through this whole section without shooting the light musket at all. Is my intent. Although that being said, the awkward movement is definitely noticeable here. And I need to grab 4 artifacts and use them with the specific characters. Okay, so let's see.
Look like a box.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see. I definitely should have remembered. I definitely should have. Hold on. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay. Fighting with. It's hard to keep track of everything. Let's see. This should be the right one for this. Yeah. I don't want to mass right click here so I don't fire the right musket. It's hard to fight with the controls and the lack of light here. But I think I've got this covered. I don't want any of them to touch me, and I don't want. I don't want any of the ghosts to touch me, and I don't want to accidentally fire the light gun.
It's an old...
Okay.
Hey, I want...
Yeah, about it.
Okay, now I just have one more ghost to give back the item, the key to. And I managed to not accidentally fire the light musket, so that's good. Okay, and now that I've got the house unhaunted, I can play Jalarci's Pro Fruit Border. By mashing the buttons, it makes it go to do the tricks. I can make it go like a few frames faster, but I haven't figured out how to really make that go faster yet. Anyway, by doing this, we recruit Jelarsi, who is half of what we need to open, well, he's half of what we need to open the way into the Peasant's Quest. The other half of what we needed to was just by completing the ghost hunt. Oh. Would have been faster just to fast travel directly into it. Okay. Now we can rotate this to Paul Revere. So by doing the ghost hunt, that allows Strong Bad to be able to tell which character is Paul Revere. But the important part is getting Marty to be able to reveal the code.
No.
And now we can engage with the copy protection and get into Peasant's Quest.
Jackal.
I jump.
No.
No.
We'll recruit Rather Dashing, but not yet. We'll need him later.
Level.
No, not you.
Smack.
We'll need this medkit for Coach C, who is in the half-half salon. We'll need... Okay. We're recruiting the innkeeper to help with Limousine's space tour bus that crashed earlier.
Now I gotta find.
Okay, actually first we're gonna do this. And we recruited the Poofsmith as Mr. Fix-It. Probably could have just fast traveled directly to here. That's fine. Okay, hold on. Oh, I must have accidentally forgot to register this to get the fast travel destination. That was what was confusing me. Yeah. Cause like I can go right by it and not register. I can go right by them, and if I'm not within a certain radius of the fast travel destinations that are in the big field, it won't register them. And I sometimes don't realize that doesn't happen. Okay, but now I can go to Bub's concession stand. And let's see. And by using I can use Limousine on them to get rid of Marzipan, which will set Bubs free to get rid of the region locking on the Stinko Man game. So now I can go into the Stinko Man game, and I can go into the half-half lawn.
The Vitalik.
And then, by using the medkit I got from Peasant's Quest, I can revive Coach Z, who was for some reason carrying scorpion bait, which is why scorpions were attacking him. I don't think I actually needed to do that.
Hey,
I don't think that actually said any... I don't think that actually was a required event flag. I don't know why I talked to Strong Mad there. Anyway, in order to I need to recruit Strong Mad, and in order to do that, I must get to the end of the obstacle course. I don't want to touch the scorpion bait right now. And like if I pick up the scorpion bait, that will be an active time loss right if I pick it up at this point. Because I have to double back manually through the scorpion, and if I were to have picked it up, then I would have to go through the course again to grab the trophy, and this time not pick up the scorpion bait.
sure, we'll keep on.
Anyway.
All right.
Now that I've got Strong Mad, he can shot put the checkpoint, so that I can grab the scorpion bait, register it to the checkpoint, have Strong Mad shot put the checkpoint back, and this time have the scorpions kill me so that I revive on the other side with the scorpion bait. Why do I need the scorpion bait? Well, that's for Peasant's Quest.
Okay.
I think this is like the one time in the game that it acknowledges you solving the puzzle without falling for the bait and switch, because like if you don't die at all to the scorpion before getting the checkpoint before doing the checkpoint puzzle correctly, and if you do the checkpoint puzzle correctly and revive with the scorpion bait and the checkpoint the first time, Strong Bad reacts slightly differently than if you fall for it once and then get it right in a subsequent attempt.
Hey!
So for Stinko Man, we need to talk to him about the enemies. And then we need to talk to the enemies about what Stinko Man said to them. And by doing that, they'll change their patterns to be able to actually defeat Stinko Man. And we are the extra life. Ignore that battery low pop-up. That's a controller that I have plugged into my computer. That's not what I'm currently using. Because this is a keyboard and mouse game. And we can have the Pixman fix these ladders so that we can grab the Trog Sword.
There you go. One more.
Okay.
One more, mate.
Alright.
It's gonna be.
Now we can head back into Peasant's Quest and make our way in. Now we've got the Trog Sword, we can make our way into Trogdor's lair. But first we have to get past this evil wizard / princess who is guarding the entrance. So we're gonna have Strong Sad give us a quest. And instead of giving him what he wants, we're gonna give him the scorpion bait, which is a similarly 1 pixel cube. Now we'll head back to the other side, and now we can recruit Rather Dashing because he decided he wants to save princesses instead of fight Trogdor. and all he does to save Strong Sad is just tell him to throw away the scorpion bait.
Never. Back.
Well, now we can finally take on Trogdor.
Oh.
First, we have to go through a Doom parody that's in first person. There are 3 enemies here that we need to use the specific party members that we recruited to defeat. We could defeat them with our weapons, but we skip some rooms if we defeat them with the party members, which saves time. It saves enough time to justify going out of our way to recruit these party members. Although we always have limousine anyway. Alright, and now I'm going to have the light gun at the ready for the final opponent. Before Trogdor. Alright, and now we can fight Trogdor. And Trogdor goes down anticlimactically. Okay. That was almost...
That was a little anticlimactic.
So time will be when we unlock that door. But it's not that easy. We've got an imitation action sequence in our adventure game here. Alright. Trogdor has weak spots, but we can't see them yet. So we're going to use Stellar Seeds to reveal them because they're actually secretly red weak spots. In order to attack the weak spots, we need to click on them, which is because it's an adventure game. What else are we going to do? But we can only one of them is visible at this angle. So we have to bait Trogdor into looking at different sides by placing peasants on the pedestals. And now we really have defeated Trogdor. Now the last thing we'll do is unlock the door, and that will be time on this episode and the run. Just as soon as... And that's time!
Finally!
And just in time, too. This cave is gonna collapse at any moment.
We better get out of here! Me first!
Hang on, I gotta save my game. There.
Rhino feeder. Ah!
Are you okay, Strongman?
I just had the most pixelated dream! And you were there! And you were there! And... Uh-oh. You were there.
Okay, so I'd like to thank you all for watching. And I'd like to give a shout out to my friends and family and anyone else who might have who've been... Well, I'd like to shout out Strong Bad, who I actually personally met. And see, I'm glad that I was able to run this game at an event. It's a very non-traditional run, even for an adventure game standards, because of the way it's 5 games technically. But I'd say it was a good run.